If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener. I'm Joy Barrett. In the big garden today, a tree has been removed to allow more sunlight to get to the garden. There was other reasons why the big maple tree was cut down. But things have been very cold recently, or have been cold, but warming up here in zone 6A in southeast Wisconsin. Have some have some leeks that didn't get harvested last year that have sprouted. If left alone, they're going to put a head on flower, so I can go ahead and harvest them now and go ahead and utilize them. The onions here are not going to do anything. They're putting a seed pod on, so I'll just discard those. I see no benefit. I could let them go and save seeds on because they are my seeds for my geographical region, the long day variety. But first, I'm going to plant some potatoes in this bed here, this 8-foot by 4-foot wide bed. If you got potatoes that look like this, red potatoes, white potatoes, that one's icky, that one's not going to do any good. That one is questionable, but going to put in the ground because there's not going to be much energy. But these are in the bottom of the pantry, and this one here I am going to go ahead and cut in half to get more potatoes out of it. What you do not want to do with these potatoes is snap off these growth tips. Example, this one. That potato was probably the size bigger than a golf ball, and it has utilized all its energy to put a sprout on. So I'm just going to go plant it like that. I got the tiller here. We're going to till this bed up and then create our ditches for the potatoes, our rows, and then get that all set up. Gonna add some fertilizer to that, the whole deal. So that's where we're at on that. But yeah, go ahead and take your old potatoes. You don't have to get store-bought, or these are store-bought. You don't have to get specifically seed potatoes. There is some advantages to that. However, this is what we've been doing for a number of years. If you get organic, or if you get potatoes in general from the grocery store, and in a week they're sprouting, or very well-known gas station chains, they have a grocery area in it. This does exactly wonderful. You can get a small amount of potatoes, plant them for a cheap price, and get a return. So that is where we're going to go from here to get this bed tilled and get these potatoes planted. Planting them about 9 inches apart and 6 inches deep. Using an organic all-purpose fertilizer, 824 on the bag. So I got enough for 2 rows there, as you saw. This here I'll leave open because I don't have any more potatoes, but we're going to get some cold nighttime temperatures in the next 7 days, and then following that I can come in and plant 2 rows of bush beans staggered right there, put the irrigation system on, and utilize that bed in that fashion. So that was easy to do. Now let's take a look at what we can do for the leeks, onions, and Brussels sprouts. I may just put the Brussels sprouts in that bed and call it good as well. I think that's what I'm going to do. Save from planting beans, and that bed can be completely done. All right, so with the Brussels sprouts here, I've got 4 Brussels sprouts started from seed, and I've hydrated this bed as good as I can right here, and I'm going to plant them as in the depth as they are in that container. And we're removing some daylily plants because we've got too many of them, and I'm going to use this as mulch. There's more coming, so the whole bed's going to be covered, but that'll be a good mulch here because these beds are extremely dry. Even though we just had rain, that's how dry we are. And I'm not going to hook the irrigation system up for another week until we get the tomatoes, peppers, eggplants put in the ground. So that's what we've got, the Brussels sprouts nestled in there. So that should certainly help water evaporation to help them get established. Okay, so now I'm up on the high end here. We've had tomatoes in this bed for a couple of years. We've had peppers and eggplants in this bed for a couple of years. We've had leeks and onions in this bed, leeks and onions. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and till half this bed, and we're going to plant leeks and onions, and then mulch it with some more of those daylily limbs and leaves because we're getting rid of a couple of plants right there. So I'll do half this bed, and then we'll go ahead and plant and mulch it real good, and then again hook the irrigation system up next week when we plant the summer crops. All right, so what I've done is I did the 3 trenches, and then because the soil is so dry, I went ahead and filled the trenches up with water to create a mud slurry in there. And then I'll plant my leeks and onions and use the daylily fronds, leaves, and surround it like I did with the Brussels sprouts, and that should hold a lot of moisture in. So I'm just going to kind of do 1 row of onions, 2 rows of onions, 1 row of leeks, and pretty simple to do. I'll show you how to do it. So I put the fertilizer down and worked it in. These are 1-gallon grow bags from rootmaker.com that we started leeks and onions in, or I started these onions in. I didn't start any leeks in them. I started because we had a bad batch of leeks, so I had to get different leeks, or find different seeds and start them. So anyway, so with them being a little dry tops, that's not going to impede the growth of the plants at all. These have been hardened off over the course of a week and stayed outside multiple nights, so we're good on that. So all we want to do is tip it to the side, reach in there, and just kind of grab a hold of pile of onions here. Now you can go to your local independent garden center and find trays of long day, short day, neutral day onions based on what geographical area you are in, so you can grow the right onions and get bulbing onions. So all I'm going to do is go about every 4 inches and plant these. Just pushing them in just slightly. And then what I'll do there is I'm just going to pinch a little soil around so they stand upright. And I probably got a 1/4 inch of soil around where the bulb would be. And we're just going to go through and plant just like that. About 4 inches. Push some soil around it. And we want to remember that the end result is what we want to have spacing for. We don't want to be them real close. So when it bulbs out, the bulb should be very close to touching if the bulbs grow to the maximum capacity that they are capable of doing so. May be hard to see them, but got 2 rows planted. Now I'm going to plant one row of leeks. Leeks do the same thing. The one thing that may be different for leeks is, let me pull some out here. People will typically just eat the white portion of the leek when it's grown, but the whole plant is edible even if there is no white portion, like the leeks we've got growing over behind me. So I'm just going to shove them in. I can go deeper than what they are rooted. Example, this plant here, I can go 2 inches deeper. Yes, it will not impede the growth of the plant. It's going to create more bleached portions of the plant, but it doesn't really make a difference because the whole plant can be consumed. Just got to clean it thoroughly, as each of the little conjunctions of the leaves will contain quite a bit of dirt. So just spacing them out about 4 inches. Really recommend about 6 to 8, but I've grown them tightly packed, and they've done quite well. Leeks, it doesn't matter what area in the world you're in, they will grow. There's no geographical restrictions like onions with a short day, long day, neutral day varieties. So the last thing I need to do is mulch with these daylily leaves. I'm just tucking them right next to and raising up the leeks, and I'll do the same on the onions on both sides. And if it rains or the wind blows, I'll have to come back and find them again, but for right now this will certainly help retain moisture around these plants as it's very dry. And even if you get them covered, if you're doing a pine straw or a straw or chemical-free, seed-free grass clippings, and you cover them up, they're still going to grow. You're just going to have to assist them once they get established and start trying to pierce through whatever material that you've got as a mulch. So that is what it'll look like. Yours will vary based on the type of mulch, and I have plenty of leeks and onions left over if I need to come back and fill in some spots. Also, I will plant some of those leeks and onions in the front yard garden as well. Well, that will do it. I thank you for coming along. This has been the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener.